feminists are officially turning their backs on Katy Perry. Right now, she is making a comeback, putting out a new single titled Women's World. And it's the typical 2010s feminist power anthem that you would hear on the Billboard Hot 100. It seems like she's kind of out of touch with what's trendy now, which is understandable because she's past her prime as a celebrity.
She was going to vote for Rick Caruso. How could she know anything?
Yeah, I mean, people aren't really mad that she's a Republican who lives in Kentucky now. They're mostly mad that she is working with Dr. Luke. And if you guys were unaware, Dr. Luke is the guy who got Me Too'd by Kesha before the Me Too movement, actually.
It's kind of like Diplo, who gets like allegations come out about Diplo like every couple of years and then nothing comes of it.
Yeah, Kesha accused Dr. Luke, this is a big music producer, of drugging and sexually assaulting her over a decade ago. And since then, every pop artist who works with this guy gets a wave of hate for doing so, but it usually dies down and people forget about it. But for some reason, it's hitting Katy Perry especially hard. And there is something supremely ironic about making a feminist power anthem and hiring a notoriously Me Too'd producer to make it for you. It's very current year. To get the message across, some of her lyrics say, sexy, confident, so intelligent. She's a winner, champion, superhuman, number one. It's a woman's world, and you're lucky to be living in it. The lyrics emphasize the idea that women are capable of achieving greatness and should be celebrated for their accomplishments. No, it does not. It emphasizes the idea that women should be celebrated regardless of whether they accomplish anything great. They should be celebrated for existing.
For just being who they are.
Yes. The song's message is of self-empowerment, encouraging listeners to embrace their confidence. They're stepping into their confidence.
Again, it is like pulled right from 2010. Or I'm about to hear Girls by Beyonce.
Katy Perry was way better in 2010.
Yeah.
And she's still like kind of stuck in that mode, not realizing that it's super outdated. And this is why Lana Del Rey stands against everything that all the other pop stars are right now, because she's honest about female nature and has actual vulnerability in her songs. But yeah, mainly people were calling out Katy Perry for working with Dr. Luke because she is, you know, sinned in the feminist moral framework. And Kesha just tweeted LOL. And she's also putting out a single at the exact same time.
Of course.
So people are like stream warsing it. I mean, between the two.
You could even take the cynical approach there and be like, okay, so you're monetizing your alleged trauma.
Yeah, so in the music video, we're not going to show it, but Katy is dressed up as Rosie the Riveter, the We Can Do It image, essentially. And during the snippet, she's drinking from a bottle of whiskey for women, dances with vibrators, and sings, "It's a woman's world and you're lucky to be living in it." And there's also a scene where she is a deflated blow-up doll who blows herself up. Not explodes, but she inflates herself, which is the ultimate metaphor for having an inflated ego. But I also question how feminist it is to compare yourself to a blow-up doll.
Yeah.
Not like she's really all that consistent, but
here's another way in which their ideology fails, right? So in the post, "It's a woman's world," she only shows women with one body type, and then the next comment below that from the same person says, "It's a woman's world," and it's 95% white women in the video. When you walk this path, ladies and gentlemen, you are not on the way to any type of victory. You are on your way to more complaints from the people who supposedly support you than you ever will get from the people who don't like what you're making. The people who don't like what you're making will just move on and go elsewhere.
Yeah, they do feel incredibly threatened by the fact that Katy Perry hasn't gotten fat or ugly over the years. She's looking good, and all of the women in her music video were skinny, and most of them were white, so that got a lot of people angry. Predictably so. Abigail Bres actually made a statement about Katy Perry working with Dr. Luke. She said, "I'm just saying working with known abusers in any industry just contributes to the narrative that men can do abhorrent shit and get away with it. On another note, I love Kesha, and she gave one of the best shows I've seen. Stream Kesha." So now they're in a war with each other for more streams, because that's how feminism works. It's just making women rich.
Yes. Yeah.
by posing as feminist icons.
Do you think it's just that she just doesn't get it because she's getting older and she's just, you can't help it?
I mean, the
Or do you
fact
think
that she
she's playing
hasn't
into it?
addressed it when everybody knows that this is the main thing people are talking about probably means that she just either doesn't care, or a possibility that no one has entertained. Maybe Katy Perry knows something that the rest of the public doesn't know, that she's not at liberty to say.
Yeah.
Maybe she's aware that Dr. Luke was not credibly accused. Yeah. I don't know any of the details, but nobody has entertained even the possibility that he didn't do these things.
She's also anti-fragile.
Yeah.
She can't be, stopped entirely. She's made her money. She's going to be able to do whatever she wants. At this point, when a musician of her caliber or, her stature continues to make music, it's because they want to, not because they need to.
Yeah, but I guess if there's anything to praise about it, it's that she at least has hot backup dancers. Unlike Taylor Swift, who exclusively chooses fat backup dancers to make her look skinnier.
Very toxic.
Yeah.
I did like some of these comments, so they were making me laugh. It really is just, why would you even want to cater to this audience when not only does she say it's a woman's world and she only shows women of one body type, and it's a woman's world and it's 95% white women in the video. She says, if you actually want to help the world, here's a thread of resources on how to help Palestine, Congo, and Sudan. It's like you can predict it. You know what the next post is. Every time a feminist or somebody on Twitter makes a thread that goes viral, after it goes viral, they say muting this, and then if you want to help somebody, here's how you can help people in Palestine and Congo, and then they include that there. It's on every single thread.
And it's never actually helping anyone. It's just like
here's
raising
an NGO,
awareness.
Here's an NGO you can give money to that will never go to the place it's supposed to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
These people have worms in their brain. And if they want body positive music videos so badly, then they should go stream Lizzo.
Honestly, that's the next one below it. Says go stream Lizzo then.
Literally.
Right?
And people are tired of the body positivity shit, clearly.
That seems to be more and more true lately, that there's a lot less focus on it coming out recently.
Go to the gym.
Because, look, Katy Perry is in incredible shape. Mm-hmm. I think that she cares about looking hot. It would be a virtue signal if she put a bunch of fat chicks in the back of her music video, but doesn't have the courage to be fat herself.
I think Sabrina Carpenter includes mostly good-looking people in her stuff too.
I haven't really looked into it enough, but Sabrina Carpenter is a perfect example of like sex appeal coming back into the the forefront of pop music.
Actual sex appeal that's connected to an actual sexual nature, as opposed to Taylor Swift, who's good looking but doesn't portray that image.
Yeah. But overall, Katy Perry wrote this song for like millennial women who still listen to, what was that? The fight song?
Yeah.
Like I said, or
that's
Girls
who this
by
is
Beyonce.
for. Or Girls by Beyonce, that type of thing.
And what they don't realize is these songs have existed for decades. Independent Women came out in like the year 2000, right? Like millennial women grew up with this message being.
It's like, yeah, of course you're independent. You're Beyonce.
It's the one video where it's the girl. She goes, if she pays her own bills, and she gets up and the guy goes, then you're an adult. You're a normal adult.
Or like Jennifer Lopez, of course your love doesn't cost a thing. You're Jennifer Lopez. Like these messages have been mainstream for so long that it just doesn't hit the same.
It's like I said, there's this video where the girl, it's a girl, she's just sitting there like this, and there's like a voiceover. She goes, if she pays her bills and she's got a job, and the guy's like, then you're an adult. Like this isn't
she
the 1960s. She
wakes up in the morning.
Yes.
She goes to the gym.
Well, that's the thing. It's like feminism or third wave feminism demands that women are celebrated for not being like degenerate. Mm-hmm. Well, they're actually kind of celebrated for being degenerate, but just doing the basic minimum things. Like I
got up in
my shoes.
It's praising a
I
fish
paid
for
my
swimming.
bills. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Praising a fish for swimming. Mm-hmm. Like it is so embarrassing that women actually allow other women to say these things and don't say what is wrong with you. They should be shutting this shit down because they sound like absolute infants. Like they're going to say this, and then like men, like there's going to be like a snowstorm, and men are going to be out there fixing the power for like half the town at 3 a.m, suffering.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, oh, men suck, and look how great I am.
It's not going to be a woman's world when the draft is enacted.
It's so ridiculous.
When World War III starts, it's not going to be a woman's world.
It's so offensive and so ridiculous, and I can't believe that there aren't more actually intelligent women shutting this down, saying you cannot do this. This is embarrassing.
Also, like, is it a woman's world or do we live in an oppressive patriarchy? Pick one. Pick a struggle.
You can't have both.
You cannot have both.
You can't have both.
They're so ridiculous. They're just so ridiculous.
Have you ever seen the video of like the girl? The toilet seat is up and she puts it down, and the Taylor Swift song, it says, "Hey, isn't this easy?" plays, and then a guy comes in and does one where he drives a car and doesn't hit a curb, and that plays. He takes the garbage out and that plays, and he does like it's very, very petty. But the point is, it's the argument that I always make when they're like, "It's really easy to put the toilet seat down." I go, "Yes, it is. So why are you complaining about it?"
It's just so, it's awful. It's just
women are in a lot
awful.
of psychological distress if they have to listen to Woman's World on their commute to work to tell themselves that they're sexy, confident, and beautiful and empowered.
The other problem is there's a whole generation of men who just don't bother to correct them.
If you're constantly reiterating these mantras to yourself, no one actually believes that you are confident, powerful, sexy, etc. You are telling yourself these things over and over again because you don't actually believe it. And that's why, actually, Lana Del Rey is the last honest songwriter for women.
I love her.
Because she's like, I'm weak and I'm stupid sometimes. I make self-destructive decisions, but I love love.
Look, and that is not exclusive to women. Men make self-destructive decisions all the time. This is not something that is foreign to men. It's just that men are expected to acknowledge this, and women will lie to each other. Like, the whole like every woman is a 10. If every woman is a 10, then no women are 10s. That's so ridiculous and so absurd. But it's like all women have to sit there and say, "Oh, we're all 10s. We're all beautiful."
badasses.
Blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, well then you're all liars, and nobody should actually respect you. Like that is begging to be disrespected, because you can't actually have a conversation with someone like that, because you're expected to lie. If you don't lie, they're going to cry. So it's like, oh, man, a woman sad, man bad. It's just such absurd, ridiculous garbage that men have been forced to deal with. And I really think more men need to say, "That's nice, dear," and just and treat them the way they deserve to be treated. When women are like that, when women are honest and they're like, "Look, these are, there are good things about women, and they're bad, and they have a realistic perspective," then you should affirm them. But women that say, "Oh, all women are 10," treat them like children, because that's how they're acting.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.